I'm so excited to be able to share with you what God has been doing with us. And the first thing that I would like to share with you, can you put that slide on there? Yeah. So basically back a few years ago, there was a big prayer on the Walks with God Ministries team that God would be able to truly provide a location where we could fellowship together. And there was different things that were going on. And as we recognized, as our Christian experience increased, we really began to see a bigger vision than the walls of any church building. Can you just get past you and then, yeah, thank you. And so this idea was that church, when it's in the walls of any four walls, the capacity of that church is limited to those people and that community in that neighborhood. And we recognized that we wanted to reach the world. We wanted to reach those who were far and those who were near. And how could we do this? And so as we were really earnestly praying, the Lord began to give us some ideas. And one of them is, where is the young people in the world? If they're not in the church, where are they? And this is what we discovered, that the young people have left the church and they've gone to their cell phones. They've gone to their computer screens. They've gone to these different places. And we recognized if we want to reach these young people, we must take church to their devices. We also realized that even in the social gatherings that the young people have nowadays, they are still on their phones. This is a perfect picture just depicting that these two young people are together. I'm not sure if they're on a date, if they're brother and sister, if they're eating at the table. I'm not sure exactly what these young people are doing, but they're together. They should be fellowshipping with one another, but they are simply on a device. So if we want to fellowship with the young people who are our next generation, the young people who are supposed to be leading the work of God as the older generation is falling and dying, where are they? Where can we train them? Where can we find them? And we recognize that God has given us clues in society that they are on their devices. And they are asking. There are so many times where Google has replaced parents. Google has replaced schools. Google has replaced a lot of things. I've heard it said Google or the University of Google, and that's truly what is happening. When young people all over the world have questions, they ask Google, what is this? What is that? Even Bible questions. They feel like Google knows more than their pastor and a lot of other things. They trust Google. And if we can find ourselves on Google, they'll be able to find the answers that God has given to us to share with them.
Amen.
Even in foreign lands. This is a picture that a missionary who traveled for long distances, thousands of dollars, went to Kenya, and while they were in Kenya, look at what they found. They found all these young people on what? Cell phones. Even in foreign lands, we can reach the young people through the electronic devices. So we recognize that God had already opened the door. We wanted to be able to share the gospel, not just with a community or with a certain area or one certain country, but with the world. And we recognized that it was possible to go electronic. And truly, we had an idea of so many different backgrounds. We didn't want to just reach people of our faith or our ethnic group or our age. We wanted to reach people of every diversity of culture, of religious belief and background, of every continent in the world. We wanted to be able to have this go far for Christ. It was exciting. As we began thinking of possibilities, we began earnestly praying, Lord, please provide us what we need here so that we can have this online church, that we can have something. We didn't know exactly what it would look like, but we thought maybe possibly an online church would be part of God's plan and God's purpose for us. And as we really started earnestly praying about this, there is a verse that comes clearly to mind. It is Isaiah 65 verse 24. And this verse was truly fulfilled as we began to pray. It says, "And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. And as we were beginning to earnestly pray, God began to answer in amazing ways. First of all, we actually had found, incredibly, this website as we began searching, just within a very short amount of time from when we really started making this petition to the Lord. And it said right here, online church platform. Interesting, right? And it says equip to reach the world. Now this instantly grabbed our attention and made us so excited. Equipped to reach the world. That's what we wanted. We didn't want something that just reached a location, one location or a few locations. We wanted to reach the world and the people of the world. And as we continue looking, we found that exceedingly abundantly above all that we had asked or think was here. And it says a live chat, live prayer, and notes. There was even study, and there was so many features that we had not even realized that we could ask for, but God was already providing them. And it says on air, so all these things are live. They can be happening simultaneously while church is happening. That was incredible. And the next incredible thing was, guess how much it cost? 100% free. It was completely free. And we were like, Lord, is this true? We applied. And after a little bit of work, it wasn't completely an easy process. But as we went through it, God said, yes, this is my purpose and my plan for you. Now I clipped a little section from the website to just help you to see what's going on here. And it says, click again, yeah, help us reach the world. That is how our vision and our goal and our desire, and it says right here, equipped to reach the world. This is what we were wanting. God was providing something to match our goals. And then the next, click again, it says expand to every soul on earth. That was our goal, is to expand the message of Christ to every soul on earth. And God was making that way possible. And this was so exciting to see. In this, you can see on the computer, on the tablet, and on the phone, it works with all three of those different kind of devices. So if someone only has a computer, that's perfectly fine. They can get online church on their computer. If they have a tablet, praise the Lord, they can get online church on their tablet. If they only have a cell phone, which many places in the world only have cell phones, they still can get online church and be able to learn, to grow, and to fellowship with God's children. This was incredible. There are so many features. Just on this picture alone, you can see the Bible here on the computer. On the tablet, you can see the chat. And on the phone, you can see the schedule, which has an invite option. And this was incredible to think of the potential. And it got even better. The Lord truly provided for us a way that there was a live chat where it could be live translated, just like the modern gift of tongues. And we have experimented with this, and we have actually had people use this quite a bit, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But if I know a little bit of Swahili, so if I go and I select Swahili, and Christina selects Romanian, and Enoch selects Spanish, and Renelle selects French, I can talk to them in Swahili, and Enoch will read it in Spanish, Christina will read it in Romanian, and Renelle will read it in French, as well as what they tell me, I'll read in Swahili. And so with everyone else, it's completely synced, incredible, almost beyond the mind to truly grasp what God gave us, and we recognize exceedingly abundantly above all that we had asked or thought, God provided. And this chat came in handy because as we began, even though it was simple and basic, the Lord started sending people from all parts of the world. And you can see right here, this is from Rayan Alifa, And Rayan, he says here, as a Muslim. He was from Turkey. He is from Turkey. He's a Muslim, and he was attending and loving our online church. He still comes, and we are so grateful to be able to have this experience of reaching these Muslim countries where I wouldn't be able to go in as a Christian missionary. I would get stoned. I would get killed. My visa would be denied. But as we have this online church, he can go and watch the online church, and we can go as missionaries virtually to places we could not go to as missionaries physically too. And that is incredible. What we had been praying for, God truly provided for us. We have some other testimonies of people from around the world. This is Muthu from India, and one day he was having a difficulty logging on to the online church. And this is the message that he sent us. Just a minute. Go back. Muthu said the network in the school is so bad, it takes a long time to load. And he sent all of these sad faces. And he later went on to describe how he really enjoyed coming to the online church. His other friend from India actually created a group chat of all of his friends and asked me to share about the online church there because he loved it so much. This next picture is of someone from Kenya, Chris. And Chris was so excited that he asked if I would please share with this entire group about the online church. He loved it so much, he wanted his friends to come. So we already have Turkey, we have India, we have Kenya, and there's other places. This is where he's telling all of his friends. Chris is telling all of his friends that he wants them to come to the online church. This is David from Bangladesh. David from Bangladesh has a ministry with orphans, and he's a Christian. He loves the Lord, but he was so grateful for the truth that he was learning on the online church and the way that he was able to fellowship with God's people. So David from Bangladesh was able to come to the online church. This is only a very small taste of what has been happening, but we are so excited about being able to fellowship with these people from all over the world. What we had prayed for, God was answering. This was just a vision in our mind, but God was incredibly working so that we were able to talk with people of all different religions, all different cultures, all different locations, be able to fellowship in one place at one time, learning the truth of God's word together. It was simple when we first started off. It was really simple. There was only a sermon that was playing, and it was the best we could do. And as we despise not the day of small things, God blessed. So just a sermon, that's all it was at the beginning. And we had a host team. And this host team, we were hosting, you can see we're all here. This is a Thursday. We're hosting for the midweek message. And we're just in our clothes. We were cooking, we were cleaning, we were outside shoveling, we were doing all kinds of stuff. This is in February last year. We just sat down when it was time and we started to talk with the people and engage. It doesn't take a lot. We were able to start with just a little, and that's how God work always begins. Just like the plants, as they begin very tiny. There's another slide. Just as they begin very tiny and they grow bigger and bigger until they're an entire tree. So with this work, we just began with just a little and God blessed it. But even in that little, God continued to bless. Okay, for some reason.
Looks like the animations were in there.
I know, it doesn't look like they're working. Okay, well, there is a lot of things here. Obviously, you'll be able to see this from Laura Weisgard. Maybe at another time we can share with you. But there was basically people from all over America who were telling us, thank you. Some people were saying, I am loving this online church more and more, and I just keep coming back. We had people who logged on, children who their parents weren't there. We love those little children. We're so happy every time that you get to come. And not so little, but we're so grateful for every time they come and they fellowship with us. Even if their daddy can't be there, they log on and we get to chat with them and see how they're doing. And that is really an incredible blessing. One thing that the Lord really really blessed us with was an incredible training for the host team. And as we were able to do this and have this host team training, it was a blessing to see the work move forward. And right now, our greatest need is for you to go to this online host team training. It's very simple. I've taken the training. Everyone here that is a host team has taken the training. If you see the little tag on their name, they've taken the training. It's simple, but it's very effective and efficient. It teaches you principles that you need to know to be a real blessing for God. And the incredible part is that no matter where you are, just starting off simple like we were, sitting in your living room, on your couch, with your computers, with your phones, or with your tablets, you can serve the Lord. You can invite your friends. You can be a blessing. And that is what's incredible about this opportunity. It isn't just for us. It's not just for me. It's not just for the people of Walks with God Ministries, the team here. It's for everyone. Everyone can be a part. Even if you don't go through the host team training, if you log on to the chat, if you invite your friends and communicate with them and share with them what God is doing in your week, you are being a blessing. You are moving this incredible mission forward that God has so greatly blessed us with. And I thank you so much for being a part with us.